Yo, this the sin. Possibly everything gonna be all right while Iran. You feel me? Maybe. I don't know. Is this a red herring? You feel me? But allegedly there could be some ceasefires going on. Um they're calling it the 12-day war. Didn't I just say something about a 7-day war, the 6-day war before? This shit is retarded. So I'm getting this right now from the NBC News for this source right here. Let's see what they talking about. Add to the stage. Okay.
To give President Trump the benefit of the doubt here, he's announcing a major, as
he's also in Tel Aviv, who I understand has some new reporting on this. Matt, what do you know?
Well, we're just seeing this.
Did he not know he was just there, doofus? Come on, Matt. Dude, come on.
Just parsing out this statement like the rest of us, Hallie, it is confusing. One of the things that really turns me around here is that he says officially Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end.
So you want Iran to start a ceasefire on something that didn't start? This is crazy. Still, I hope it works out though. Makes no sense. How about you talk to Israel? Oh yeah, you can't. That's the 51st state.
To the 12-day war. Clearly, President Trump sees this 12-day war as a successor to the 6-day war. So it looks as though, and I don't know any more than you do here, Hallie, but it looks as though Iran is going to stop firing, and then 12 hours later, Israel will be enjoined to stop firing. And
so Iran stopped firing for 12 hours so Israel can finish the job? Like, what's really going on here?
But and upon the 24th hour, both of them, or the war will be officially declared over. That almost makes it sound like Israel will have its way with Iran for a 12-hour period. But
that's exactly what it sounds like, Matt. That's exactly what it sounds like. Why isn't Israel the one being told to cease fire for 12 hours? Didn't they start it?
Between the time when Iran starts its end of the ceasefire and then Israel picks up on its end, though he does say that during each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful. It's confusing because, of course, you do think of a ceasefire as being a mutual agreement.
Yeah, so...
Not that one can have a ceasefire and the other, unless one just simply ceases firing and the other is allowed to continue firing. That doesn't sound like much of a negotiated agreement.
Yeah, you're going to cease the fire for 12 hours. We're not going to stop ceasefiring, but you're going to stop the ceasefire for 12 hours. We're going to do a Jedi mind trick on you. That's what we're going to do. It's going to work. Let's see, America. Let's motherfucking see.
However, we're going to have to give President Trump the benefit of the doubt here. He's announcing a major, as Keir said, a major advancement here, even though it is kind of unclear how the mechanics of this are all supposed to work, especially if the Israelis are allowed to continue firing for 12 hours, already having dominance over Iranian airspace. But as Keir mentioned, the Israelis still have a lot of unfinished business, especially when it comes to that uranium that nobody knows where it's gone. So, right. I mean, it's unclear where this is all going to be going from here. It all starts 6 hours from now, according to the president. Again, we haven't heard anything from the Israelis. It's very late here, 1:30, so we might not hear anything. But it's going to be before dawn when this ceasefire actually starts, or around dawn. So this country is going to be experiencing quite a bit of whiplash in the next couple of hours. I can tell you that Israelis went to bed tonight thinking that they were going to be woken up by more sirens and more bombardments.
Matt Bradley, I'm going to ask you to stand by because, to your point, it is not just President Trump who is talking about this. It is now Vice President Vance as well. Yamiche, who is still with us outside the White House. He has just, I believe, finished speaking. What can you tell us about what the VP has to say?
Yeah, so as the president is making this striking announcement, and we're still waiting, of course, for confirmation from Israel and Iran, the vice president is essentially throwing his support behind this idea that this ceasefire agreement has been reached. And he said this is a great thing, as you said, for Israel and Iranians, a new opportunity to actually pursue what he called the path of peace. He also said that the 12-day war appears to be effectively over. That's exactly his words. He said we have an opportunity now to restart a real peace process. He went on to say that it's now that the Iranians who now need to play it smart from here. So to me, it's really interesting because as he's saying that this ceasefire has been breached and that the war is over. He's also signaling that Iran now has a decision to make about the way forward. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how Iran talks about this. It's also very interesting to get details, I think, about exactly how this ceasefire was brokered. We know that the president was talking to both sides, that he spent all day in the Situation Room talking to his top defense officials. And
hopefully this ceasefire can happen, but it's really like a smack in the face. Like, what are y'all really talking about? Like, what, it should be Israel, that should be ceasefire, but that was then. Let's see what's going on now. Let's check out Al Jazeera.
Now more than
if ever, and that's been taking a toll. And so,
then
given the fact that Israel cannot physically completely destroy Iran's nuclear program, it raised questions about, was it worth the price? And on the one hand, you could say Netanyahu figures the longer the war goes on, the more popular I am, the more we can get away with the genocide in Gaza because the world is distracted. But when the Mossad headquarters, other military installations, and
I don't even think it's even a distraction. I just think Yahoo, he just don't care. That's that white arrogance. Yes, that is a white man from the Caucasus, the Caucasoidal pastures.
And a lot of the civilian areas are being struck with missiles. I mean, that's not sustainable in the long term either. So I think it's quite possible that it was Trump's pressure that made the difference. I wouldn't be surprised if Netanyahu was not getting some internal pressure as well.
Stephen, Israel's attacks on Iran over a week ago, it all began with the premise that Israel wanted to end Iran's nuclear program. And then, of course, the U.S. entered the fray a few days ago, attacking those 3 nuclear sites in Iran. But we don't really know the extent of the damage or where the nuclear program in Iran stands right now, correct? I mean, obviously, Trump has said that they obliterated the nuclear program, and other officials have said that the nuclear program in Iran has been destroyed. But do we actually know where the nuclear program stands?
We don't.
No, you don't know what happens with the nuclear program. Israel failed in their attempt to swoop down on Iran, to bully them. Then Donald J. does a Deli Brother SmackDown tag team on them. They get jiggy on Israel. Iran gets jiggy. Boom, boom, starts dumping on Israel. And also an American base. So they're like, whoa. So now they're saying a 12-hour ceasefire, but Iran first. But Iran was last. Iran was first, all right? No. Yeah, Iran was first. So what's going on with Gaza? What's going on with that?
And there's some evidence that the Iranians were actually moving away some material and certainly some personnel, from the sites that they knew were being.
All they're going to do is get jiggy, and now this is going to start a whole new syndicate, a network, an access of anti-America. That's what's going to happen. A AAA. Thanks, Donald. Thanks, Netanyahu. Hope you guys got your suntan lotion for the fucking nuclear radiation that's coming.
Targeted. And in any case, I mean, they can't destroy the knowledge. And that's the key component in a nuclear program. Even though they killed some top scientists, there are a lot of other scientists who can help rebuild the program. It's less a matter of material.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I know Netanyahu is wilding. He must be off the yada fish scale. Yeah. Ooh-wee. He got that kerosene dream or something. This is insane. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Hopefully, this whole thing with this ceasefire is real. It sounds weird as hell, but I'm keeping y'all updated, man. Black light out. Share, like, and you know what I mean, subscribe. You're like, I see you know what I mean, the shorts is popping or whatever, but put a like, thumb up.